Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to some racing. We do some racing online. This is a live stream. You missed it. Subscribe and like so you don't miss them in the future. You fools. You fools. Might have to do some helicopter flying today as well. It might have to happen. Life is but a helicopter. Helicopter, helicopter. Life is a helicopter. Are there people on in the morning in this game? That's the real question. I'm just here for the ranking. Hello, King Carrot. King Carrot. Do you not have a life? What are you doing on? Oh, LMG T3 fixed. Let's see how many people are on. Are there people on? 32? It's on. There's always people wasting their life. I might do the hour-long one though. Can't go wrong with a bit of spa. Same schedule. Is the schedule the non-schedule? Oh man, I think I only slept for like 5 hours last night. Went to bed, put on podcast. What was I listening to? Something about electricity. Put on podcast and then I went to sleep. And then I had weird dreams. And then I woke up and I was like, bugger. Bugger, I can't get back to sleep. So I think I'll do some bloody work. I think I'll bloody well do work, I thought. Registeren. Hello, Light. Light, I see. Hello. Hello, Mr. Lido. Right, I don't want to miss my post. We got a new sound thing coming. I missed it yesterday somehow. I have a Ring doorbell, but the battery's not on it. Hello, Paul. Thank you. The battery's run out, so they ring the doorbell and nothing happens, and then they go, "Oh, he's not in." It's like, what? Because there's no battery. Okay, right, let's see what's going on here. Please hold, ladies and gentlemen. Check out where the delivery on the way out for delivery. Here we go. Yesterday this was going around the whole of UK. Oh well, let's hope they bang the door at least. We'll listen out for some banging. I heard my Sainsbury's post the other day. I heard that. Good morning, Samia Hannah. Samia Hannah. Hello. The new sound controller we got will allow us to do voice as well, but it won't have an auto tune.
But the auto tune's broken on this one.
So it doesn't really matter. We'll be able to do that still. That's all that matters. That's what I do every morning. It's my ritual. My warm-up ritual, that. Mongolian throat singing. That's what I do in my spare time. And we've got the didgeridoo behind us as well. Ping. Ping. What time does the race? What time did the race start? I didn't check. It was more than 10 minutes away, wasn't it? So I think we're okay. Got these losers in practice. Bloody hell. So many losers on this game. Yeah, you have to be a well big loser to play this game. I can see my force feedback down because my arms are weak. What are you guys doing watching this stream at this time? Do you guys not have anything better to do? I don't understand. Whee! Don't understand what's wrong with you guys. Can you explain? Can you explain yourselves? What's your excuse? I have an excuse. This is my job. You guys don't have an excuse. You are not excused. Oh no! What have you caught? I managed to go to Cologne and not get sick, so... Steve Worrell, you loser! Steve Worrell!
Loser.
You loser, what you doing? Idiot! Why are you up now? Idiot! You are a loser! Getting up in the morning and watching this live stream.
Steve Worrell, loser.
God, imagine being such a loser. What a fool! He's not cool, he's a fool. I'm gay. Right. You want my energy? I don't have much energy. Energy. Rich energy. I wish. Poverty energy. For me, it's like my energy is like, have I triggered my chronic fatigue recently? If not, I'm pretty happy. And then it's, have I had more than 4 hours sleep? If so, pretty good. And then it's, is my back hurting? Yes or no? If it's not hurting too much, I'm like, oh, that's good. So I'm pretty hype. That's the advantage of like it's the advantage of these things. Also, the world's ending in like the end of this year anyway, so you might as well be positive. You might as well enjoy things whilst you can. The internet's going to be taken down by all the nukes. So you might as well have fun driving around in circles until that happens. Whee! Whee! It's the end of the world as we know it. Stop following the... Well, you still have the worries even if you don't follow the news. But yeah, I mean, I would say... Depends what news you follow. And, yeah, don't watch, like... Yeah, there's, like, stuff that's just stupid. It's not helpful for your mental health. Also, you need, like, you'll find there are some, like, good news coverage, or not really news coverage, but things that I don't know, like, there's a way of enjoying terrible things. Like this live stream, I'm showing you how to enjoy sim racing, which is possibly one of the worst activities created by man. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. Like, some people have fun in the slaughterhouse, you know. Some people enjoy that. Some people enjoy, like, whipping themselves, you know. So you just have to work out how you do it. Oh, Joe Rogan. Bloody hell, get out. Yeah, Joe Rogan would be a good example of something to avoid. You went from depressed to normal. But what if your normal is depressed? That'd be very confusing. Yeah, I don't watch live news or anything. I watch, like, I read like history stuff and sometimes like some general analysis on things, but not like, oh, here's a news thing, here's what this person said, here's what this person said. I think that's pretty bad. Nihilism and enlightenment. Different sides to the same coin. Well, look, the fact is, you can't really look at it any other way. You're gonna die. And everybody you know is going to be dead. And the sun is going to envelop the earth regardless of whatever happens. And no one will remember or even care as to anything that's happened. So all that's really relevant is trying to do the most at whatever the current present time is that's beneficial. That's it, really. Because why not? It's more effort not to. You might as well, you know, you might as well. It's like if you just popped into existence somewhere, you'd be like, oh well, what's the point? Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? You just do whatever you're doing that's pertinent at that point in time. Like a tadpole in a puddle. That's it, really. So I think it's like the mummy. It's like the mummy thing. Oh, hang on, we need to keep going here. We've got a while until the race starts. Like the Egyptians getting mummified and then ended up in a glass cabinet. The timescales of relevance. Humans create arbitrary timescales of relevance. They're like, I got, well, you know, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I want to do this year, next year, and then in 10 years, and then, I want to do things better, so the better for my children, because I've had children, and now I want their life to be good, as a, you know, and then like, and you're like, I want things to improve, and this and that, and it's like, okay, great, but ultimately, on the grand scheme of things, everything's going to be deleted through entropy, and then, what's more important, long term, short term, you know, like humans sort of pick and choose the relevancy of the timescale of things rather arbitrarily. Like the corpse thing, I was saying, like people are disturbed by a fresh corpse, but a mummified corpse, they'll go to a museum and look at it and wonder. So it's all a bit arbitrary, really. How long have we got here? 14 minutes? Oh, I thought we had... Bloody hell. Hello, Andre, under Rain Luke. We have 14 minutes here. We can get back into practice. What conversation have I walked into? Oh, we can still practice. What's in 13 minutes? Oh, it's on the hour. Okay. Yeah, like the relevance, what people attribute. I need my coffee before these conversations, guys. My brain's not woken up yet. The relevance of things and how people attribute things as being more or less relevant, it's all a bit arbitrary. Like, a good example is football matches. A good example. So at the start of a football match, the referee is behaves completely different in their decisions of what cards they give out and what penalties and stuff to what they do at the end of a football match, because the referee and a lot of the viewers perceive what happens in the start of the football match to be less relevant than the end of the football match. Like, everyone fixates on time wasting in the last 2 minutes of the football match, but they don't fixate on the time wasting at the start of a football match. But in reality, the time that's being wasted is still the time that's being wasted. It doesn't matter when it happens. So a really good football team that wants to waste time could do it at the beginning of the game. Like, now I know obviously people want to waste time when they're ahead in goals and they're like, oh, the game's nearly over, so we'll waste time now. We're ahead in goals, it'll be harder for the other team to score. But they could get ahead. Sometimes they get ahead in goals early on, and they could waste time early on, and it'd be just as relevant as wasting time later in many ways. So the thing is, separate to players doing that, which is one thing with some reason behind it, a referee, if your goal was to fairly moderate a football game, you can't moderate it differently just because you're closer to the end of the game than the start of the game. But referees always do. And this is the thing. And people accept it, which is really weird because they shouldn't. It's utterly logically inconsistent. Like, a player will do like a really egregious tackle at the start of the game and the referee's like, oh no. They do one later and the referee's like, oh, that's a yellow card for sure. And then when the player's already got a yellow card, they don't give out other yellow cards because they don't want to give out a red card. But it's like, well, surely, why would it matter? If they've done a yellow card tackle, then it's a yellow card tackle. So what you're then saying is that, oh, actually, you should do one foul to get a yellow card because then you can do worse fouls without getting another yellow card. So you've actually, by playing badly in the first place, you've actually developed a degree of immunity to continue playing worse than you otherwise would do because you're less likely to get a red card. Why do teams lack intensity until they're losing? That's just being British. Yeah. The British strategy of football is score one goal early, then dilly-dally the ball around, and then inevitably lose 2-1 because the other team scores around about half-time and then scores the next goal in the second half. That's why I stopped watching England play football. It's been like the most excruciating thing to watch ever. So yeah, that's the other psychology thing, is that really a football player or football team should be playing the best football they can play at all times. But they don't. They score a goal, they totally change. Like, it's really weird. Like, if a race driver that's a good race driver will be like, oh, I'm trying to do the best racing I can do at all times. A good sports person, always try and do the best you can do at all times. Obviously, with football, but sometimes when you're attacking, that opens up the defense, so you might have to change. If you do score a goal, you might have to change strategy, which might look like dilly-dallying. But if something's working as an attacking strategy and the other team hasn't changed their strategy, it is weird to then not continue playing the strategy that was working for you. Also, if you score one goal in football as a team, that often puts the other team on the back foot because they then feel pressured to have to score an equaliser, which actually opens the other team up to be more vulnerable to your attack. So if you had a general line of moderate attack and you happen to score a goal with that sort of not like crazy attack, just a general line of attack, you score one goal, it would make more sense to continue playing exactly the same way that you started, because just about every other strategy the other team could employ would open them up to your current strategy or previous strategy being like make your current strategy better. So, but there seems to be yeah. Football's particularly bad for that. Like in ice hockey, teams tend to actually play pretty more consistently. Hello, How Night. Can we save? We need to save this stuff. Which one is that? Is that power onboard TC slip? One of these we need to turn off. Onboard which one's that? Onboard. I can't even see it. I can't even see it on my left. Let's just put them all to one. Hang on. We want that one off. TC cut slows you down a lot. Basically, with this off, that should be the same as this being off. Oh, well. Is there a reason I only did 6 hours earlier? Well, I went to bed, didn't I? I went to bed. I decided to sleep. Right, where's brake bias? Oh, can we not change brake bias in there? Oh, here we go. So, that's moving the brake bias forwards. Kind of like 50-50, I think it's a good. Even like 49-51. Will that save that now? Oh dear, game's just broken. Ah, well that was good. Oh no, we're back. Helicopter! No, we didn't do any helicopter. I was pretty tired yesterday. Tired of your attitude. Right, that's off. That's one. And that's off for one. And then brake bias. Let's see what this drive's like. Well, most people fall asleep. That's how I get most of my viewership, is people that are unconscious. I don't mind. Best way to watch this channel is unconscious. Eight out of 10 viewers enjoy watching this content whilst unconscious. You better with just the TC off entirely. Turn the TC off. Well, TC almost always just slows you down in Sims. I think the slip of the vehicle is also like a reference for you knowing where the car is at the limit, and the TC ends up hiding that or stopping it. Good morning, Jedi John. Somerset. Pirate Land. How's it going? Cider country. Ah, man. I don't like cider that much. Like, I really like the idea of it, but it's too bitter. Also, I think I drank a bottle of Scrumpy Jack, like a whole... It must have been like 4 pints, 5 pints. You know, the glass bottles they used to do. And I felt so ill after that. I was so ill that it kind of put me off cider. It's a bit cloudy in London. What kind of alternate universe is this? In a world... Hasn't the iRacing update rolled out this morning? We'll have to try that out. I don't think anything's changed with it, but... One minute. Beautiful. Yeah, we're doing the WEC at Spa. That's what we're doing. Click the like button, guys, if you're a morning person. Morning stream. Oh, we've got 44 people on Twitch. Hello, Twitch viewers. The Twitchers. How are all your Twitch people doing? I think I might need to make a proper coffee. I bought some mocha, like instant coffee that has hot chocolate and coffee. It doesn't really taste like coffee. I quite like it, but it's a bit weird. It's not strong enough compared to my ground coffee beans. Right, this save the setup from that last session. Didn't. Didn't. Let's just turn them all off. No, I mean I don't mind. I don't mind GT3 and Sims that are okay, but there's too much GT3. That's the problem with GT3. I don't mind them. Like this is yeah. Like my contention with GT3 cars is not that I hate GT3 cars. It's that other people disproportionately like them. Like pop music or emo or there's they're not necessarily that bad, they're just disproportionately liked. Like cricket. I mean, if only 3 people played cricket and everyone laughed at them, I'd be like, oh, that's fine, that makes sense. But no, there's like actually hundreds of thousands of people that think cricket, millions of people think cricket is an okay sport, and that's obviously wrong. So that's the problem. You know, hundreds of millions. Yeah, I mean, what? Cricket's such a stupendously moronic sport. Like to play it's fine, don't get me wrong, I think playing it's fine, but it was so obviously invented by rich British people to stand in a field to avoid their wives and family. That was it. They were like, right, how can we create an activity so that my wife is at least 50 meters away from me at a worst case scenario? So they're like, right, okay, we need this little thing in the middle of a field that you sort of run forwards and backwards from. There's some sticks that you have to knock over. Okay, right, we can do that. Right, yeah, and then we need to make the pitch needs to be right. This is the exclusion zone, so we'll make it. It's like a good sort of 100 meters circle. Sorted. You stand it towards the middle of that. No one can talk to you, and you just go, well, it's cricket. That's what that was about. Yeah, and if you're not the one batting or bowling, you could be pissed out of your face. No one's going to notice because no one can see it. Just think, when they invented cricket, they didn't have cameras, or video cameras. So you could have been pissed out your face right in the corner of the field, and they'd be like, "Oh, you missed the ball." You'd be like, "Oh, sorry, it didn't have any skill," when actually you were just completely pissed out your face. So it makes, as I say, as a sport to play, I don't have a problem with it. Where the thing that I struggle with are people that go to cricket games to watch it. It's just ridiculous. Like, you can't see anything. It's terrible. Cricket is possibly one of the worst spectator sports on earth. I would say cricket is worse than. I mean, it's worse than any. I can't think of much worse than cricket. Like, lawn bowls is pretty good, actually. Yeah. We just played in India in the ICC Champions. I don't even know what that is. Trophy final on Sunday in Dubai. They were pretty happy they won. Yeah, I mean, well, baseball's just American cricket, isn't it? Americans couldn't come up with that. As usual, Americans couldn't come up with their own sport or thing. And Americans didn't even come up with stealing stuff. The Brits steal everything, but we did it hundreds of years ago. We ruined and stole everything. And then Americans are just Brits version 1.5, like Brits Windows Update. So They haven't even stolen properly. They've like stolen a stolen thing. I mean, we probably stole cricket off Indians, to be honest. So, yeah, well, we invented rounders was just a copy of cricket, I think. To be fair, ice hockey's good, but that's not American, is it? It's more probably Canadian. No, we don't do ice hockey in England particularly. We do, but no one acknowledges it. Some watch cricket on Sky early hours in the morning. I don't get cricket. Honestly, cricket makes me irrationally angry. Cricket really upsets me deep down. I quite enjoyed the cricket games on the Atari and early PC cricket games, though. And Jake, you saw the inside of a GT3 Porsche. Well done. If you go to like 24-hour races, a lot of GT races, they might even let you sit in the car, you know, when they've finished. Or like if you're there on the days before they're actually driving. I think they need to make tiddlywinks more of like an international, like the Olympics should be Olympic tiddlywinks would be good. I'd like that. Well, what? Right? Why go and watch a game of cricket when you could just read a book in a park? Right? What is more fun? Sitting by a little stream or a river? All right, Jedi John, have a good one. Thanks for popping in. Sitting by a little nice stream in the countryside or waterfall or something, listening to a book or reading a book or just sat there meditating. That or sat in a field with a bunch of other annoying people watching people shout stupid words playing cricket. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is wrong with people? Why would you want to be in a crowd? How do any of these sports beat walking in the countryside? No, Nortsky. Cricket should be eliminated. The reason why sentient aliens have not contacted humanity is because of cricket.
Shall we take a look at this planet, Mr. Bibbidi-Bob-Bobbidi? No, Lord Bibbidi-Bob-Bob-Bob. We shall not invade this planet. These Earthlings, they have this activity they call cricket. It is so devoid and dumb. I don't believe it's worth our time contacting them. Okay, we will avoid this planet at all costs until they stop the game of cricket. But isn't it our responsibility to share the knowledge of eternal life? Yes, it is. But not to people that pursue cricket.
Which is fair enough. Snooker's alright. Not to watch live, but to watch on TV. Why do people watch snooker live? Anybody that's ever watched snooker live should be executed. I think we should bring back the death penalty in the UK. Not for snooker players and not for people that watch snooker on TV, but anybody that goes to watch snooker live. I just don't get it. I don't get why you would want to watch snooker live because you can't see the table. You'd be too far away from it. And how does being in a room of people watching snooker make it better? Honestly. Oh no, Thomas, you fool! Ew. Every month, Thomas wastes money. Every month, Thomas cries himself to sleep. You're not... Are you working from home today? Nice. Tennis as well, that's another one. Like as a sport to watch live. Like, just, it's disgusting. Just the crowd are all like upper middle class people clapping. It's like, it's all upper middle class people that watch tennis. Disgusts me. Like, no, I went to bed a little bit earlier. We had like 5 or 6 hours sleep, and then I wanted to try and get my sleep back round to normal UK time a bit. Trying to be healthy-ish. Beano gave me a recipe for German lasagna that I need to try. I don't think I can go full vegan. I don't think I can go full vegan. But spinach lasagna seemed like a good idea, actually. I've not made lasagna for a long time, so I was actually like, that's pretty good. I like it when you overcook the pasta a bit so it goes a bit crispy. It's quite hard to do that. Yeah, I just don't... Big events that people go to, like sporting events, there's a lot... They just don't make sense. It's so dumb. Like, okay, air shows, alright, it's quite good. Like, it's... an air show is quite like the jets and planes and stuff sound amazing, so being there is an experience, right? Like a firework display. I don't really like fireworks that much, but I think a firework display is quite spectacular. It's quite nice. Yeah, and being in a crowd, okay, you know, not ideal, but not terrible. Race event. Not to watch the actual sport in terms of who's winning and stuff, but as a thing to go to with a group of friends, especially like a 24-hour race. It's a party, they have music, the cars are loud, it's a spectacle. You know, that makes sense, right? That's good to me. But cricket, tennis... I can see football not being too bad because you can see the whole pitch quite clearly. Sure, you're in a crowd, that is a downside. But you can watch a football pitch, as long as it's not too big of a stadium, you can see like the game being played. Like, you can actually watch the whole thing and you actually get a better view of what's going on than you often get on TV. So actually, football's not too bad. So, as long as it's not a big... Like, a smaller football pitch is actually reasonably good. But again, you're in a crowd. Why do you want to be in a crowd of people? It's just a terrible, terrible thing to be in a crowd of people. You marshal Le Mans every year, you boring. Well, you're marshalling it. There's a chance a tyre might hit you in the face, so that's good. That keeps you on your toes. That's, you know, that's excitement. That's like base jumping, but without a hill. So I understand that. There's fun there. You have a phobia of people. No, well, yeah. No, I don't like big crowds because people in crowds are stupid. A person is okay. People are terrible. And then crowds are moronic. The way that crowds move around, and then the way... I think people that like to be in crowds, I think what it is people that have a lot of social anxiety or lack confidence. And the reason they like being in a crowd is they like feeling that there's a lot of other people that agree with what they're doing. And so it makes them feel like, oh, it's like you know, it makes them go, oh, I'm welcome, I'm comfortable. Oh, look, everyone else is having the same time. We're all enjoying it. We're all on the same mindset. And I think it's to do with that. I think it's massaging that kind of... it's like negating the insecurity that I think a lot of people have of potentially just enjoying things on their own or being like... I think a lot of people don't develop the comfort and confidence and self-satisfaction of being able to enjoy things entirely by themselves. And for those people being there's different, it's not just a singular thing, but then there's for me, I automatically, the more there's a large group of people going along with something, the more skeptical I am of that thing. Because I start feeling like it's a Nuremberg rally taking place, you know? The more there's like an authority or like a mass of people, I start going, hang on a minute, are people doing this because they actually enjoy it, or is the thing actually good, or is it like a group think Orwellian scenario? It really is. I find it a bit disturbing. And also, you just have to think, what's the statistical probability that 10,000 people all agree on something? When do 5 people normally agree on something? So like, if 5 people don't normally agree on a thing, if you've got a room full of 10,000 people all going, I'm like, hang on a minute. It's sports know-how night. No. Hang on, you're projecting your own feelings and thoughts upon everyone else. No, I'm not. I'm rationalising why I think that a lot of people, why humans generally like, most humans generally like crowds. I'm giving a rationale as to why that's appealing to a lot of people.
Go to the grid for a race start.
So there is it's a known thing that a lot of animals, or most, a lot of people feel if other people are doing what they're doing, they enjoy that. Like it makes them feel more confident, makes them feel more comfortable. It's less of a risk. That's just human nature. Everyone has that to a degree. And I think people should be more skeptical of that, generally speaking. Like it's at worst. I'm not saying I don't mind being in a crowd. I like firework displays. I like music and stuff. I don't mind it. But I'm just saying it's a scenario where you have to be careful and skeptical because it is something that's often misused. Sharing an experience. It depends who you're sharing the experience with. And sometimes... No, it doesn't necessarily. Like, So it can be both. Both cases are true. Like, sharing an experience with someone you like is great, right? And you both have a shared experience, or a group of you have a shared experience. That's fantastic. But also, a non-shared experience can be equally as good. Both are two different things that can be really good. So the problem is I think the majority would be like in Western philosophy, and actually even Eastern and stuff, a majority of people would be like, oh, it's doing stuff in a big group of people is amazing, it's the best, oh, there's nothing like it, and it's like, and they would claim that is more valuable than an individual experience. I would say both are equally valid, but in different ways. You know? I mean, look at those the things they do in China. They have these events where they all just go to a street and they all just walk through the street as a big crowd. I mean, and it's just the idea of unity and being in a crowd that appeals to them, because culturally there's a thing of like, which is not entirely bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not all bad, but you know, can we not park on the apex? No, but cricket's just terrible. So let's not mess around with cricket. Let's let this guy go in front. I mean, we could... Oh, fucking idiots. Oh, fucking morons in this game. My car's wrecked. Bloody hell. We should be able to repair. The idiots in this game. I forgot how slippy the grass is in this game. Jesus Christ. Like, they don't stay on the brakes either when they crash. We almost avoided that. I think LMU needs to get a bit more of a ban stick, or like make the safety rating harsher. Because these people crashing in the dumbest ways. Like at the start of the race, they could probably program it so that if you have an accident in the first 2 laps, you get more of a penalty, or I don't know. Let's try and pit. The way the damage is in this is so funny. Why are these guys so slow as well? They got damage as well. Got behind you, Span. Oh dear. Yeah, it's a shame the grass is so slippy in this, because we would have been able to avoid that crash. Somehow the grass in this is slippier than iRacing grass. Oh, what? 144 seconds. Oh, well. Should have just driven into the car, actually. Yeah, thanks, BRT. You just type the most obvious comment on everything. the whatever I say, you will take the opposite position and then say like a platitude that everybody already knows, but is like a dismissal of what's been said. Do you have like? Oh dear. Yeah, cricket. Cricket needs to be banned. I think we can all agree to ban cricket. World saved. Ah, dear. I mean, we did. We weren't even that far back in quali. I think it was LMP cars again that wrecked. So the problem is with this multi-class, You can't avoid the LMP cars, the back of the LMP cars crashing, which then causes the GT3 cars to crash, even if you're high up. So that's the problem at the moment. A lot of people are just losing the... there's a lot of people driving LMP cars in this that don't have basic car control. So I guess... I mean, if there was a way to divide the grids up more, I guess they could make the timing between the GT3 and the LMP wider. That could actually help quite a bit. I'm not sure what the gap is between the GT3 and the LMP in this. Then I don't know why people are struggling to drive the prototypes of this, because it's so easy to drive. I don't know what they're doing.
Lap 6:03.28.
You're watching on your phone. Because it's safer to watch on your phone. No, it's even, yeah, the tyres are cold, but it's so easy. Like, as it should be. Like, R-Factor 2's a lot more like real tyres in that they're not insane like in iRacing, for example. That's what's surprising. It's like AC and ACC are so easy to drive, as they should be. Real cars aren't crazy to just drive. They're hard to drive fast, they're not hard to drive. It's on the grand scale of video game difficulty, R-Factor 2 LMU is so much easier than like 6K CS2, for example. Like the precision of aiming you need in Counter-Strike and positional awareness and team play and like timing and like absolute precision and everything. This is a joke compared to Counter-Strike. So, but maybe it's just driving sims probably attract people that are not very good at games as well. Or like even like compare it to like Trackmania, like the amount of skill you have to be moderately quick in Trackmania, the precision levels and the speed of that precision. Yeah, and the reason why LMU, ACC, and AC are easier is because you can the tyres don't turn off when you go over the limit. So as a player, you get a second chance. So you can make a mistake without it being game over. So it's the equivalent of Super Mario having like a large Super Mario. You make a mistake, you're small Super Mario, and then you can get a mushroom again. So you got a chance. You know, it's a second chance sort of, you know, and also there's like a range to that, how much you're pushing it, rather than it being a binary fail condition. So, which is also why real cars are actually, why a lot of people find it addictive. It's like pretty tried and tested game mechanics. It's not typical that a car just insta-kills the driver. Like when that happens, normally there's like inquiries onto why the vehicle's so bad. But then also, R-Factor 2 and LMU have way more forgiving netcode, car contacts and damage, which again reduces like frustrating incidents. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Funnily enough, someone that spent 250 to 500,000 pounds to drive a race car is probably not going to continue driving or paying money if they are killed in an accident that was completely not their fault. So, strange that. Yeah. It's only acceptable for large corporations to kill poor people, not rich people. Yeah. Well, if you wake up dead, though, that's basically being British, isn't it? So, and nobody wants that. But I definitely think for this, I think what's causing a lot of the accidents is the people crashing the hypercars, and then the GT3 cars come across the crashes, which, you know, and I think the solution for that with LMU would be for them to have a larger gap between the hypercar start and the GT3 car start, which is something they could probably implement very quickly. That would have a huge positive impact. And you actually, that is something you see in iRacing, where on the tracks where the GT3s are starting close to the hypercars, you end up with a lot more crashes than on the tracks where the hypercars, or when the race starts, the hypercars are actually further ahead. So yeah, anyone from LMU dev team watching, if you can increase the gap between the hypercar start and the GT3 start, that'll have a big positive impact. There you go, free game design. Presumably there's a specific variable that can just be changed for that. This guy must have crashed. I need to remember that the grass in this is slippier than iRacing though. Also, in this game, you're actually better off driving into people than avoiding it, because it does less damage if you hit a car than if you drive into a wall to avoiding a car. I'm just wearing a hat to keep my head warm. I don't know why. I think there's a lot of people that aren't bald, so they don't understand. They don't understand that when you're bald, or if you shave your head temperature goes up and down, right, quite quickly. And so wearing a hat keeps your head warm. I don't understand why it's so hard to understand. Like, hats are not like... People with hair wear hats, right? I do have heating though. It's just in the morning I'm really cold. When I wake up, I'm cold-blooded when I wake up. I was staying at my sister's recently, and she had the heating on like full blast. It was like 25, 26 degrees, and I was wearing my coat and hat indoors, and she's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I'm cold." That's just, sometimes my body's just cold. I was perfectly happy. I'm happy. I wear my coat and my hat. Sometimes I need more heating. It's about 20 degrees in this room, because it's a really small room, so the PC heats it up. So my side parting. It could be a Sikh. What are the Sikh hats called? The thing that Sikhs wear to put the hair in. A turban. I've decided to become Sikh. I've got a knife here. Turban boost. Turban muscle. I've been turbaned. Oh, if I was Seek and I was a sim racing Seek, I would call my YouTube channel Turbinned, and then my logo would be a turbine being crashed by another car somehow. Any Seek viewers that want to start a YouTube channel as an idea, Turbinned. Oh, that's one in the bag. There we go. Oh, is it Turban? Oh no, I thought it was Turbine. Oh wow. I've been turbanned. Turbanned. Oh, 16 seconds. Aaron Brockovich is in front of us, complaining about water quality. I'd just be nice to have a little bit of a race with people. I mean, we've been well unlucky with the GT3 races here. Oh. Do the tracks change over this morning? I think they change on Tuesdays. Is it Tuesday night? I'm not sure when they change. I know it's Tuesday, but yeah, I don't know what time. Maybe they do it at midday. Oh, so our last bloody GT3 at Spa. Is another... I like Spa. It's a nice, easy track to drive. I'm not quite sure why so many people struggle with Spa. Like, I can understand why people struggle with Interlagos or I don't know, like Road America, not Road America, Circuit of the Americas, and Portimao. I can understand why people struggle with that. Yeah, Fuji, I can understand, but Spa is, the corners are all like pretty. I mean, to be fast on it and to be consistently fast on it is difficult, obviously, but like to crash, in terms of not crashing and where other cars might be, it's a very predictable track. Well, you can break ACC down into a much more robotic process than LMU. Because in LMU, the cars have a lot more slip than ACC. So you do a lot more... In LMU, you do a lot more balancing of throttle input and steering input. Look, Dave Cam, don't you be giving me this bloody camera setting rubbish. I have Locked Horizon on for motion sickness. It's only a problem through Eau Rouge, so look. I have to look at the horizon at all times, alright? Though actually this does have the filtering without having to use Locked Horizon, but I'm happy with how it is. No, we every like 30 minutes we have someone come in the chat going, oh, you idiot! If you can't get through, you have to lift. I'm afraid you can't just like assume that you're going to plough up the inside, or you know. Jesus Christ! Managed to save that. Yeah. Now, why are you stopping? You had room up the inside that time. Oh my goodness. I mean, you see, the contrast. A driver that like doesn't go through the most obvious inside line that their car can easily make versus the driver that can't possibly lift or alternate the line other than the racing line because, well, they can only drive one line. The amount of sim races that have a binary process of driving is insane. They need to pray Richard Burns rally.
Time 2:25.15.
Four laps still with pit here. Yeah, iRacing is mega initial grip and really responsive cars initially, but as soon as you start getting into like more slip on the tyres, the grip turns into like a sludge of never-ending understeer. So in iRacing, unless you've like trail braked the car into initial slight oversteer and you're basically on rails well within the tyres, if you go outside of that, you're done. Whereas in this, you're always in like a bit of like slip, that's more like how tyres actually are in real life. This is a bit over the top still. Like this is so the initial bite of iRacing tyres is actually quite realistic, I think, but it's the behaviour after that. So the ideal scenario would be for this to have the same initial bite that iRacing has, but then to have this behaviour that this has after that initial bite, if that makes sense. But that's why AC1 is the closest to real cars, because it's the closest to having that initial bite and then not too sloppy afterwards. But even AC1 is a bit weirdly sloppy. Like, I think that the initial bite in iRacing is probably the best sim for that. Even road tyres, like, in real life, road tyre slicks, cut slicks all feel like they have quite a lot of initial bite, but crucially, the slip that you get on them is quite controllable and manageable, where it isn't in iRacing. So it seems to be a very hard thing for sims to be able to program. Yeah, the sound, exactly, Dave Cam. The sound's really weird in this. So like the engine note doesn't line up with the RPMs like it does in iRacing, and the tyre skid doesn't seem to fully line up with stuff. So I think there's a whole bunch of weird stuff in this with the audio. I don't know why that's the case, but well, what happens with any video game, not just driving sims, is if you spend a lot of time playing any video game, you get used to that video game. And I think this happens even more with Simracers because the physics and stuff is quite complex in any racing sim. learn and memorize one simulator, but then they associate that with being the correct thing. So I was just fortunate that well, to be fair, actually, the first Sims I played was like R-Factor 1 and stuff, and it almost put me off sim racing because a lot of the cars had these same issues that iRacing has, where the cars just bin you. But then what got me back into sim racing was playing Richard Burns Rally, which, sure, Richard Burns Rally is very unforgiving and harsh, but it's much more like real cars. And then Live for Speed and Netcar Pro, that's what got me back into sim racing. And that's just that's what real cars are much more like. Richard Burns Rally, Live for Speed, AC. That's just what real cars are like. For some reason, there's probably over 60, I would say over half of sim racers don't understand that real cars are quite forgiving to drive. Like, even people that drive real cars, a lot of them can't even drive like, and hold slip, so they think that real cars are unforgiving because they don't have like they're just shit at driving. You can be a shit driver and actually drive a car around a track somewhat okay until you actually get oversteering things. It's quite interesting. Yeah, you can. RBR has VR as a mod. Right, we've got. Oh, we'll pit when we need to pit. We've got a while. From a gameplay perspective, though, being able to overdrive in a way that's a bit slower, and then you've got a range to hold a car in, that's just better. It's going to be better for gameplay. It's better game design, as opposed to if you've got something that just kills you. Forget what's realistic or not. It's just going to be more fun. Why am I not smashing sim races? Well, we got smashed by sim races. They smashed themselves. So, I'm being so unlucky with this GT3 races. It's normally, this is the one problem with LMU, is that I can't. Normally it's me crashing myself in Sims or some, you know. In LMU it's other people crashing into me. Which I can't do much about. Does it explain virtual energy anywhere? No, nobody understands virtual energy. It is basically, virtual energy is a way. I think it's how they ultimately bop the different vehicles, or especially with the prototypes. But basically, you can think of virtual energy as they've combined the electronic stuff and the actual fuel into a single metric. So basically, if you run out of virtual energy, you might still have physical petrol in your car, but you've technically run out of fuel, so you get disqualified. If that makes sense. So the it's basically like a virtual fuel gauge for what you can actually use, and I think it's to encourage the cars to bop the cars, because I think they could have different amounts. They've got different fuel efficiency and stuff, and now they use electrics and things. I think it's something like that. Or that's how it's used in World Endurance Championship. We'll have a look on ChatGPT. We'll get it to distill it into something I can repeat to people easily. Am I doing the Sebring 12 hours? What is that, an iRacing? Do you know what? If iRacing V10 time model actually makes the cars drive like cars, I will be so happy, because I really, as a live streamer, I like doing large events, and I like driving like GT3 cars for live streams and things. I cannot play iRacing because it's too shit. Like, it's just too shit. Like, I'm not playing iRacing. I can drive the F4 cars and stuff. They're not too bad. But, like, GT cars and stuff in iRacing, from a driver perspective, are too shit. Like, if you're an esports driver and a competitive driver, it won't bother you too much because you're playing the video game and you're like, can I beat other people at this video game? But I know I'm not that good of a sim racer, right? And I know I'm never going to be that fast. So for me, the actual driving experience, the feel, just the general nature of the car handling becomes more important because that's what I'm getting my enjoyment from. I'm not getting my enjoyment from beating other people or being better. I just like driving, right? The experience of driving. I like racing as well. But it's the momentary racing. It's not overall being the best race driver or getting better myself. It's just like, oh, is that a novel experience at that time? And sadly, iRacing with its GT cars and stuff is so bad, I just can't enjoy it, really. I can enjoy F4 cars, Formula Ford, especially like Road Atlanta, Road America, this, you know, MX-5 and stuff. So if they actually do a semi-decent job on the V10 tyres, if they get it to... if they get the V10 tyres to the level of R Factor 1, then I'll be really, really happy because I want to be able to play it. It'd be nice to do those events.
The pace car is out of control.
Nah, we're fine.
Lap 3:22.18.
I think Spa Endurance pit lane takes the prize for the world's worst pit lane. The old double pit lane. Is there a worse pit lane in motorsports? You might as well just drive around the track 3 times. Unless you might as well just drive around the infield. Oh no, we didn't get a stop and go for speeding. Oh well. Doesn't matter, we're so far behind anyway. Push the limit. Oh, well, also, you'll notice there's a big bump on the corner at the top of the hill out of the pit lane. And when you've got open setup, if you set the suspension really stiff, it's quite possible, especially on cold tyres, that you could come out the pit lane and spin it onto the worst part of the track. So genuinely, it is like the worst design. I can't think of a worse pit lane. Another 3-year trip. It's alright because everyone else DNF'd because of that crash, so this race was pretty much a write-off. I mean, I've seen real cars in real life spin it coming out of the pit lane there as well. So I think even in real life it's quite an aggressive bump. Imagine what it's like on a motorbike. This would be an awesome track to drive a bike around, actually. But they do that, you know, the other corner at the top. I really feel like driving through the pit lane again, guys. Stop and go. Stop and die of old age on this track. 10 seconds. Oh, Brit smashes the pit lane. Oh yeah, guys, click the like button if you want to. if you've got nothing better to do. And the thing with GT3 cars, for me, I feel like I sort of in my brain perceive it more like playing Euro Truck Sim than race driving. If you go into a GT3 race imagining that you're playing Euro Truck Sim, it makes a lot more sense. Lower your expectations. It's like if you go into a British high street and expect every shops to be like a Woolies, then if they have something different, it's a bonus, you know. The British high street. Oh, it's so dumb. It's you know the whole thing where they're like, oh, the British high street, it's closing down. Nobody's going shopping anymore, and we don't know why. It's like, could it be because every high street has exactly the same shops that don't sell anything anybody wants? Could it also be that nobody's got any disposable income because they're not being paid enough? Is that the reason? No, it's not that. It's something else. Go and support your local high street, guys. Shop at WH Smith, Boots, and God knows what other. Poundland, which doesn't sell stuff for £1 anymore. Oh, dear. I mean, even years ago, do you remember Maplins? It'd be like, oh, I need a cable because my cable's broken. Oh, head to Maplins. That'd be £15 for a 50p cable. Oh. Poundland sounds like a brothel. That's actually what it is. It's the red light district in the UK. Poundland. Sounds like a brand of adult video. Poundland. Oh, it's my new website, poundland.com. Poundland. Oh, it's so dumb. Never thought of it like that. Oh, I've been pounded. Yeah. You just ruined Poundland for everyone. Pound stretcher. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Have you got a pound stretcher? Well, oh, I'm getting too warm now. Hat off. Parting ruined. This race was a disaster. All because of that crash. We'll look the replay. The emo hair. Farewell, emo muscle. We should have had emo music playing. Now we race. Serious business now. It's time to enter Poundland. Well, I mean, dollar stores would have been in trouble before Poundland because a pound is like $1.30. So dollar stores probably had to start not selling stuff for $1 like at least 2 or 3 years before Poundland. Oh, we got one more lap here. All right, go on, Ed. Thanks for popping in. Good luck in your races. Well, I lived in the north, and the place to go in the north was like Bargain Madness, BM, and it was Home Bargain Madness and Home Bargains. That's where it was at. Bargain Madness. Who doesn't like a bargain? It's mad. Whoa! Mark Walland. Hello. Woo! This has felt like a drive too. Imagine if a driving sim had realistic roads allowing you to drive. I mean, this is kind of what they're half promising to do with Assetto Corsa Evoluzione. But imagine having to drive to Spa from the UK. You could drive onto the Eurotunnel. You sit on the Eurotunnel for an hour and a half. Actually, it's 45 minutes, I think, if you get on in your car. And then it's a 4.5 hour drive from Calais up the E30, the worst road in Europe, through Belgium, through Holland, Belgium, well, France, Holland into Belgium on a straight road. You could do it in a video game. You could just have a tile that repeats, because that's what it looks like in real life. It is the dullest road. Have a procedurally spawned lorry tyre every few miles. That's all you need. Beautiful, look at that. That was a disaster. That was oh yeah, we replay, we go. Almost forgot. Absolute disaster, guys. All because some idiot walled it. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, I would have got hit by that other car. I couldn't go right because he was there. Yeah, there was nothing we could do. we made the best choice, to be honest, because these guys are all spinning off here. It is the hypercars. They need a larger gap between the hypercars and the GT3s. Neither of them are on their brakes. I think he's reversing. He's not on his brakes. So we mostly, that was the best we could do there, but that put us in the wall. But even if I'd gone, there's another car that almost hits us here, so any other line we would have got wrecked. But it's this hypercars driving within the GT3s. I don't know what the solution is, but I do think. Why is this hypercar Why is this GT3 car driven into him? Like, the hypercar shouldn't be there, but why is this guy just rear-ended him? He's just driven straight into him. I don't get it. It's a 40-minute race. Sure, you don't want to lose positions at the start, but sometimes you just have to lift it. And also, you've got the long straight coming up, so it doesn't even matter. On the first lap, it doesn't matter because if you're behind the car, you can draft them anyway. So it really doesn't matter. And if you've got this car in front of you, he will pull away on the straight and slow this traffic down. So there's no point. There's no point in pushing or trying to keep momentum on the first lap here. It doesn't matter. It's actually pointless. This guy would get into this traffic and slow them down, making it better for you anyway. Even if he doesn't, you would still be on the tail of these cars and in the draft for T1. Even if you weren't on the tail and in the draft and this guy wasn't there, these cars would all bunch up through the slalom, through the corners at the top. And there's a really good chance that the hypercars will be crashing on the first lap up there, or someone will, which will yellow flag and slow these guys down anyway. So there is no reason, if you've got this much more momentum, there's no reason not to just lift a tiny bit, because you'd be like, oh, I'm catching up on these cars a lot. But instead, you drove right into him and you've wrecked 6 people's race. And your own race! You tit! Yeah, like seven people's races have been ruined because this one guy wouldn't lift his throttle pedal for half a second, a quarter of a second of lift. A little lift would have stopped 7 people. He's the Donald Trump of GT3. He's just put a tariff on everybody at the start of this race and nobody's benefited from it. Not even himself. Well, in this case, this was a hypercar that didn't qualify with the other hypercars. So, I mean, maybe there's some sort of rule that if you qualify behind GT3 as a hypercar, you have to start from the pits. Or maybe it puts you at the back of the hypercars still. So there's probably the game code. I don't know how it works, but either it forces you to the back of the hypercar grid, or it starts you from the pit. But I'm sure they know this. It's probably something they just need to put in. But ironically, it was the GT3 car driving into the hypercar that caused the problem. The hypercar has probably been a bit slow because of the cold tyres. Thanks for following. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Cruising with Gunhead, really appreciate that. Oh, we gained some safety rating, but we lost a shitload of rating. Thank you. We got a lot of safety rating. Bloody hell. We're just here for EP. I'm going to go to hype level 1 as we've had 2 subs today. Thank you. Hype level 1 achieved. Did you feel the difference? Oh dear. It's not. It might be a little bit. So he was stuck behind other cars. I think it's more that the hypercar drivers will be more careful through Eau Rouge and there's corners at the start because most people are terrified of the cold tyres. Oh, thank you, Hell Knight. What's on the new schedule? We don't know yet. It's it's just updating now, I think. That was the last one. I hope it's a good track. They should just get rid of the GTE cars. The prototype's going faster into the corners. Yeah, but it's not it's a bit confusing, isn't it? The GTE and GT3. Given that GTE cars are GT3 cars, basically, they've just got a slightly different spec. I think you have three. You have three of each category. So like silver 1, 2, 3, and then it goes so bronze, silver, gold. I don't know when they update these tracks. I don't know how this works. Don't know when it'll come up. Do we have to restart the game? Ooh! What's this McDonald's car? Oh no! I can't do Circuit of the Americas. We'll have to learn it. I hate Circuit of the Americas. T1 is terrible. Maybe we can learn it, but it's so many blind corners. Oh, you can go back to the main menu with the Le Mans logo. Why don't people like Circuit of the America? Because the first corner is a blind corner and people tend to send it up the inside and then understeer into you. And unless you've got like a VR headset, it's really hard to see the like apex into the corner. And then it's got a lot of completely pointless windy bits in it that's a sort of Tilkin design, track design, which is completely terrible because they're like non-corners. All they do is stop you from being able to overtake a car or get side by side. So it causes just causes a train of vehicles. So those pointless like corners that are put in to slow the cars down, but they're just pointless corners, is like one of the worst things that's happened with modern tracks. No, there are bad tracks. There's specific tracks with certain cars don't work well with those cars. Like that's just a fact, I'm afraid. Like Alton Park, for example, is a fantastic track, but it's not fantastic with GT3 cars because it's not wide enough. Or it doesn't have enough of the right type of corner to allow for GT cars to be able to overtake, because the cars are too big and because of ABS and because of the way that the braking zone and the radius of the corners. So yeah, a track goes hand in hand with the vehicle in terms of how well it's going to go together. I don't know when this updates. Can have a Is iRacing up for maintenance? What does Koto work well with? Nothing, because it's a terrible track. No, Alton Park's terrible with GT. It depends what... If you're shit at driving, GT3s be alright at Brands Hatch and Alton Park, but if you're vaguely at pace, you'll just have a convoy of vehicles. Because no one can... People, you'll see, you just can't overtake. It'll end up being a convoy. Those tracks are really good with, like... vintage minis, F4, Formula Ford... Yeah. So 1950s tracks were designed to be good to race on with 1950s cars and things in that framework. Yeah, everything's being replaced by LMGT3. Hang on, downtime's been scheduled at 12 UTC for iRacing. We could do a Formula Ford at Alton Park whilst we wait here. There we go. Let's do that. Yeah, you need a proper racetrack like Brands Hatch, Alton Park. All they're proper racetracks, but you need actual race cars for them to. They're good with the good race cars. The thing is, GT3 cars are not very good race cars, and this is disturbing. This is traumatic for a lot of sim racers, but GT3 cars are designed for people that aren't that good at driving to be able to drive fast cars that are quite reliable, can be serviced, and can be done in a team format so that you can make money out of really rich people buying driver seats. That's the point of GT3. And the brands drawing crowds because people know the car brands. That is the fundamental design envelope. The design of GT3s is not, can we make something that's a really good race car for racing? It's, can we make something that's good for the business of motorsport? If the goal was, what's the best race car? It's smaller and lighter generally. So Radicals, F4, F3, you know. We've not done GPT yet. Yeah, MCR 2000. Caterhams, exactly. GT3s basically, it's for people that don't actually. It's like. What's another equivalent in another activity where you have some? It's like a thing designed for people that don't actually like the core activity. Like table tennis is just different. It's like, like pop music versions of like heavy metal or something, or pop music versions of dance music. It's like that. It's the car equivalent of that, where you have a song that a lot of people can enjoy, they can understand it, like or like international like pop music that's like takes some kind of folky thing from a country, like a local music style, and then presents it in a way that's easy to understand from people not from that culture. So it's that kind. It's basically like that. It's like a mass market type of embodiment of the thing. So I'm not, and I don't think it's universally bad. I quite enjoy it. It's just, as we were saying earlier, it's just that there's too much of it. Like this car, this is better than a GT3 car. See, like the fact of the matter is, a Formula Ford is a better car. Like, it's more responsive, it's more precise, and this car costs like a fraction. You can buy one of these cars for like £40,000, £35,000 second hand. Whereas a GT3 car costs between £250,000 to £500,000, but this drives better than a GT3 car. It's a Formula Ford, and that's purely because it's lighter. It's just physics. Like, the lighter a car is, same thing with helicopters. A small and light helicopter is more manoeuvrable. And it doesn't have a high top speed, but it will fly. It will like give you the helicopter pilot has more control and skill availability with a smaller helicopter than a large helicopter. It's just physics. Like, it's very hard to outdo the reality of something being light. Like, mass is, mass is mass. The more mass it is, the more inertia it has, the harder it is to move around. What would I recommend in iRacing? Personally, just the Formula cars. A lot of people enjoy the GT and the LMP2 and stuff and the hypercars, but I think they're absolutely terrible. For me, in iRacing, Formula Ford, F4, F3, I think they're the most fun, especially with the fixed races. Okay, it's 20,000 for a Formula Ford. Nice. The only thing I don't like about Formula Ford in real life is that they have a manual gearbox. I would want like sequentials on the wheel, and then that'd be great. I don't really like. If I'm in a Formula car, if I was driving a Formula car or even a Radical, I'd want sequential on the steering wheel, not at the side. Did Alton not have any bumps 10 years ago? What do you mean in real life? Alton's it's not the smoothest of tracks, but it's not the bumpiest. I think I've never been round Alton Park in real life, so I don't know how smooth it is. Watching the onboards, it looks like it's quite bumpy. Yeah, I think Porsche Cup's great. Well, the only sim that I think the Porsche Cup car is good to drive in though is the original AC, the 2017 Porsche Cup car. R-Factor 2 has an okay Porsche Cup car, but it's a little bit weird with its force feedback. I think Sims seem to struggle to capture how Porsche Cup cars move around and drive, because they're quite tanky cars, but then at the same time they're also quite agile, but then they're also driven, I think, sort of you have to be on the tyres like at the limit for them to actually move around. But if you're under the limit, the car's like a complete tank, and if you're over it massively, the car plows. So it's a type of car where it really exposes tyre models in driving sims, I think. Trump just said it's illegal that people are boycotting Tesla, and he's going to buy one tomorrow. Oh, dear. I mean, it's just... I feel bad for Americans that aren't stupid, that are going to suffer because of how dumb Trump is. And, like, I feel it's unfortunate that... I think a lot of Americans don't realise how the damage that Trump has done in terms of soft power. Like, America had a position from post-World War II that meant that a lot of Europe felt indebted, sort of culturally indebted to America, right? Following on from World War II. So a lot of Europe would be like, oh yeah, sure, have a military base here. Sure, do that. Sure, whatever. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Obviously, Europe has benefited from that relationship with America as well. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, Europe's gifted stuff to America. Not at all. But there's been a mutually beneficial sort of soft agreement that's just come about from certain things being a given, right? The same sort of benefits that if you've worked with someone for a long time in a business relationship, you don't have to sign a contract on everything. You don't have to go into the nuts and bolts of every single thing. You can just get on with doing what needs to be done because you have an understanding, because you have an agreement, you've been doing stuff a certain way. And it's like, okay, well, that is a massive, that allows for a lot more like business freedom and productivity to occur. And unfortunately, Trump is such an idiot. He doesn't understand stuff like that because he's such a sociopathic narcissist. So he doesn't get any of that. He thinks all business is just about demand and attack, right? And then, unfortunately, a lot of them, because of propaganda in America and in the West, a lot of Americans don't realise or won't realise how much soft power that Trump has given up. They won't realise that the cost of that, which will be billions, if not trillions of dollars. So I feel bad for the Americans that aren't idiots. The same thing happened in the UK. Unfortunately, the people that aren't complete morons are always more negatively affected by a minority of complete morons. Same in everything in life. You can have like 100 people that are great and one person that vandalises a bus stop and ruins it for everyone. So it's just a shame. I don't think it's really a comedy show. That's the problem, because it's not really funny. It's too obvious. It's just stupid. Stuff's comedic when it's like interesting. Max level 01. Oh, here we go to save the day. A beautiful DD girl. DD girl with a DD wheel. What a babe, what a beauty, what a sexy lady. It's a DD girl with a DD wheel. Perfectly formed servo motors for her legs. It's a DD girl, dreamy girl, rotating in max levels bed tonight. DD girl, you dreamy woman, with your servo motor thighs. Everybody needs a DD girl. Put a DD girl in your sim rig. Everybody wants a DD girl, but if you put her in your bath, turn off your power or she'll die. DD girl with the DD wheel. Put your hands in the air, set fire to your hair. It's a DD girl, dreamy girl, AccuForce, Fanatec, and Magic Sim your cube. Pot your candles, wave your candles. Max level is part of the church. DD girl! What a beaut! Thank you very much for becoming a member. Emotional. Welcome to. Thanks for following Chew Jacko. Where's the Church of Force feedback gone? Where's the church gone?
The pace car is out of control.
Oh, I want this. We've got a mug. Where's the church gone? Oh, it is. Welcome to the Church of Force feedback. Oh no, John Hartley's been blessed. Blessed by the 13 months, thank you very much. Blessed be, and lo, the Church of Force feedback. The pews are filling up, it's the place to be. What a time to be alive. Emotional damage. Thank you very much, John Hartley. Thanks, guys. No refunds. Just sadness. Was I 5k? I was, and then I just started dicking around in iRacing. And now what are we? 2.7. I have to not dick around to stay at 5k. We'll do a return. We'll do a 6k challenge at some point when the V10 tires come out. We'll do a 6k challenge when I want nerve damage again. 5k in a month is not a healthy thing to do. It's not a good idea. Yeah, Elon totally wasn't carried to his 10,000 I rating. It's not carpal tunnel. The problem I get is what's it called where your tendonitis, and I get like nerve damage in this, and I get my shoulder joint rubs. There's definitely more right hand corners though, because it's always the right shoulder. I actually got we did one time a few years back. We did 26 hours of iRacing non-stop, and I actually lost feeling in my arm. Like that was outright nerve damage. It came back. It took like 6 months though, but that was full on. I couldn't feel my fingers properly. And my arm had like numb bits on it because it genuinely had damaged the nerve. But fortunately, it got better. But yeah, it's pretty mental how you can repetitive strain injuries. I could do with putting a bit of a dead zone on this brake. Well, for me, H pattern's worse because I have to use the clutch, and then jabbing the clutch hurts my left knee. I'm very fragile. I've got a pathetic body. I'm rusty. I'm like a Victorian gate. You paid for a nice H shifter. Yeah. The only thing I want to get for my sim rig at the moment is a helicopter collective. I'm really hoping Moser make one. That's all I want. This is Pac-Man 3D Alton Park Edition. Oh, I would also like a new graphics card. We're still rocking the 3080 Ti. Actually, I'll be honest. I've been lying. This is what this live stream is sponsored by our graphics card.
This video is sponsored by the 3DFX Voodoo 2 graphics card. 8 megabytes of RAM, 100 megahertz of processing power, 800 by 600 maximum supported resolution, SLI for double the speed. Your PC won't ever need more power. The Voodoo 2!
There you go. That's our sponsor. Is there a Verpil Collective? I didn't know. Hang on, I'll have to have a look at that. There's some DIY ones on Etsy, some projects. All you need is a potentiometer, really. Could make one myself. But the Voodoo 3 retailed at like £350 when it came out. Voodoo 2 was only like 120. No, you would you'd just pass the Voodoo 2 through your PC because it couldn't do 2D stuff, so you had to pass it through the PC's graphic output. It's really weird actually how it did that. Wow, see how this lap is. It's probably put us in like 6th place or something. Oh, 2nd. That's alright.
I'm hot.
And you're not. We're driving the 3DFX car here. Look at this. Look at our livery. How do you? I can't remember how you get the car settings up. Control F12, I think, was the default, but it didn't work. Sound Blaster, AMD Athlon. Best livery. Yeah, we changed the button because we had a bug. Itchy, hello. I need a sandwich here. Here we go. You're excited to crash the new GPT cars. That's where it's at. I don't know how much fuel we need. I've got 15. Oh, it doesn't really matter, does it? We're in second in quali. Who cares? We'll just drive. I think it's Formula Ford's F1 livery on that car. It's nice to be joined by David Coulthard. No, we're just doing week 13, whatever was on here now. Just waiting for LMU's track rotations changing as well. I tell you what though, guys, if you ever get like 4K's stupid because you need really fast graphics card to run at 4K 120, but if you ever play a game on 4K, it does look amazing. Like the details you get from a 4K screen is really crazy, like how sharp everything is, texture detail and everything. But then you just get used to it, so it kind of ruins everything for you. It's probably best to never use a 4K screen. Never use it. If you don't use it, you don't know what you're missing. Tom Bland. Oh, you can join us in Wreckers, Tom, unless you've been banned again. Yeah, I'm like a metre away from a 55-inch OLED.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh! Thanks, Thomas.
Right side. Clear. Car right. The next car's the leader. Still there, hold your line. Clear. There's an incident behind. Car right. Still there, hold your line. Clear.
I didn't check how long this race is. Whoops. Ah, 10 minutes. Emo James. Very sensitive, Emo James.
You're in second position right now.
I mean, F4 Formula Ford is so much better than GT3. It's hilarious. Like, this is basically one of the worst Formula cars you could drive, right? Cheapest Formula car, and it outperforms a GT3 car. Ah! See? Ah, no! Woo! See how it outperformed it? That was alright, that worked out okay. That was very lucky because none of them took any action to avoid us. None of them like thought, oh, there's a car on the grass on the right, I wonder if he was going to come back onto the track. None of them did anything, and somehow it worked out. Yeah, you do have to remember that in iRacing, once you start understeering, it keeps understeering. I forgot. I was in I was in LMU physics mode there. Got a race now though, that's good. Oh, has iRacing fixed the off track on the right? Have they fixed that finally? After how many years? It used to be that if you touch the right of the track there, you get an off track. Or maybe I went off the track early there, so it didn't do it. Have they finally? Ah, they finally fixed that! Oh my god, the most stupid off track in iRacing's been fixed. What? Right, that's a dedicated video, that. That's the biggest change in the history of iRacing. Right there. The amount of times I've been off-tracked on that corner. Holy Jesus Christ. It's the most absurd off-track in all of iRacing. Finally. See, everybody that likes Alton Park has been cursed by that idiot off-track when you're not even off-track and you don't even gain an advantage. Wait! Mitchie Hoyer! Guys, check out Mitchie Hoyer. Give him a sub. Mitchie Hoyer! The man of the shirts. A legend. Sim racing legend. Ah! He broke more than I was expecting. David Coulthard's jaws causing issues with aerodynamics. Square Helmut Coulthard. The original Minecraft F1 driver.
Right side. Clear.
Can I get a... Oh yeah! Oh, thanks for subscribing. Oh, that's it. That's the new meme. Can I get a... Oh yeah! Mitchie, when you get a t-shirt that says can I get a Hoyer? Can we all get a Hoyer? And Mitchie regrets ever coming to this channel. Whoever came up with that F1 Creator Series should be getting into a dark room. I'm not in the Creator Series. What's going on with the Creator Series? Oh, did someone come up with it? Oh, someone came up with it for your name. It's well good. Just embrace it, man. It's amazing. It's free promotion. Not the promotion you want, but at least your uncle's not Fred West, so you know. Oh, we got a backmarker traffic jam here. 2 minutes to get 3 places. Here we go. 3 places in the bag. In the bag or in the wall, same thing. He's that famous, Jeremias. Oh, we've only got 2 laps. We need to get past David Coulthard here.
Left side. Still there, hold your line. Still there. Keep to the right. White flag, clear.
You have to send it.
You're in 4th position. Right side. Clear.
Can we get up with these 2 guys? Come on. Oh, I'm pushing. We need to be closer. Oh, I don't think we're close enough to do a final corner lunge. At least we got Coulthard though. It's a nice overtake. We got 4th place, all right. Not bad. I can't believe they fixed the off-track, guys. This is a revolution. Let's see where it is. Oh my god! It's actually fixed. That was good racing. Let's have a look at our little overtake on that guy. It's good. Tip my own horn. It's a nice little overtake. I don't know why he opened up the inside, because it's basically on this track it's impossible to overtake on the outside. So I don't know. Here he should have just stayed on the right. I don't know why he left that open, which meant we could then do this send here, and he's just gave us enough. That was alright. Right. The LMU updates happened yet? We can do another Alton Park whilst we wait. Yeah, he's obviously it's rigged election. We'll do another one, and then let's check out LMU, see if that's updated as well. I need a biscuit or something. Thanks everyone for clicking the like button. Thanks for following Mitchy Hoyer and subscribing to Mitchy Hoyer. Brother Hoyer. Hoyer! He hates it. Oh, LMU's updated. Let's see what's there. We'll do another Formula Ford anyway. What's in the LMU? Mostly topless grid girl update, which was very bold of them to do that because it's quite controversial. But you know, they've got to do what they've got to do to get the sales. So topless grid girl update, I think makes sense. Okay, we got LMGT3 fix wet. Oh no! Is it actually wet? That's going to be a disaster. And then we have Kota. And there's an Imola. What's this? 12 starts at 12. Oh, that'll be good. I like that. I like Imola. So we got one. So it's a national circuit. Tunnock's caramel wafer, the king of up. Get out, Fur Fox. What are you on? The dark chocolate digestive is probably... Well, no. Millionaire shortbread is the king of all biscuits. So... When's this? What time are the races? 10:30. What's the time now? Oh, 11. 12, 1:30. Okay, so we'll probably do the 12 o'clock one. We're going to do one more iRacing race before we get back to this. Ooh! I need a biscuit as well, actually. Okay, let's go. Yeah, they should, instead of being called cookies, they should be called biscuits. Woo! Just loading iRacing here. Loading. Why am I yawning? Yeah, I don't know. I need some coffee. New lighting model? Wow. I hope it's got more grip. Made the game look like a 2008 game. Woo! Look, they fixed the off track at Alton Park. What more do you want? That's all. That to me, that's the greatest update in all of iRacing. That's really don't need anything else. That was the most annoying thing about iRacing after its tyre model and netcode was the off track at Alton Park. Hello, Dark Polly. Someone's had a drink, or they're having a stroke, or they're headbutting the keyboard. Just occurred to me, do you think you could grow a bonsai tree as if it was like a sprite? So you could grow you grow a tree so it's flat. Or you grow a bonsai tree so one side of it's like that and the other side is like this.
The pace car is out of control.
Like that'd be really cool to grow a bonsai video game sprite tree. I'm up for that. After 30 years, my bonsai sprite tree has been completed. What's a sprite tree? We haven't seen one for 60 years. Oh, it was all the rage back in the day, guys. Have you never thought about growing a bonsai sprite tree? I have. No, I don't really have anything better to do with my life. Next live stream, guys, will be in 15 years' time after we've completed the bonsai sprite tree. Time lapse it. It's the next video. 15-year gap. Now, if we don't take ourselves out, we'll do an off-road excursion on this one. We should be alright. This Alton Park weather looks a bit suspiciously too sunny here. Like, this is like one of the summer days in the UK. It's a fraud. Is Alton Park longer than Brands Hatch? Someone find how many kilometres is Alton Park and how many kilometres is Brands Hatch? I think Alton Park might actually be half a kilometre longer.
Green flag, green flag. Okay, here comes your first time lap. You have about 5 laps of fuel left.
2 seconds off the fastest lap. You should use the iRacing as a practice mode where you can teleport to repeatedly do corners. It's probably the fastest way to get up to speed and also practice cornering. Run for the hills. You can do the teleport thing in AC as it as well as a mod. But yeah, it's a really good feature. They could do with putting a fade each time you teleport because it's a bit jarring. I think the reason it works how it does is that you need to save the momentum of what the speed of the car, and I think it's basically using what would be the replay, because to practice a corner, it's the speed at which you're entering the corner is just as important as the start and end position. And so the thing of being able to set the point is that you're setting the point at the entry speed, or you know what I mean. But yeah, you'd have. I think because the way the system works is that the way it operates is they've got the replay which has the car speed and the thing, and it basically puts you into the replay or where the car was in the replay. But then I don't know. That's how I would approach it if I was programming that type of system. Or maybe there's other ways to get the data, I don't know. It could just have a set thing, I don't know. Who knows? You'd have to look at the source code. Don't know how much fuel we need for this. It's only a 10-minute race, so 10 litres. We're probably even like 8 litres, probably enough. Tom Bland's in there. Oh no. Blandageddon. Is he still voice banned? Voice bland. Will it bland? Too bland or not to bland? Click the like button. Woo! Thanks to everyone that supported us today. I really appreciate it. We've had like 3 subs. Let's have a look. Viewer activity here. Let's see. We've had 2 subs. Max level 01, brand new victim to the Church of Force feedback. John Hartley Sim Racing, 13 months of despair. And we've had some subs on Twitch as well. Let's see. It doesn't list them nicely, which is annoying. I need an app for that. Thank you very much, guys. How do I make it on Sim Racing YouTube? Do you have to be bold? Yeah, that's a good start point. Just shave your head. I recommend that, yeah. Oh, look at the Blandmobile.
But you should have to get past the human roadblock like is James West.
Oh, hello. Thank you very much. Don't know why it's
I am the champion of the
EU
ninjas.
Scrum01. Thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the land of no adverts on Twitch.
Cars to grid.
Are you live, Tom?
No, I don't stream anymore. I ain't got time for that.
Ah. By the way, guys, there's a 80% chance that Tom will crash in this race, so bets on which lap it will be.
You're currently making a coffee, so this is going to go well.
I think you're going to manage 5 laps before crashing, before taking someone out. 5 laps. Well, James.
Everyone's got to keep up first.
James is James Baldwin. I'm Bold James Win. It'd be great to one day do a video with James Baldwin called Can Bold James Win Against James Baldwin? And then if I win, it'll be Bold James Wins. Bold James Wins. You know where it's going. I just want to do it for the title.
Green flag, green flag.
Bold James wins again. Bold James wins. James Baldwin lose. Loses. James Baldwin loses. Hello, Beano. Bold James wins against James Baldwin's. Yeah, something like that. Oh dear. Oh, these guys are pretty quick. He does. Being bold's better. I need to actually shave my head tonight. Keep forgetting. Optimal. Bold is beautiful. I enjoy being bold. I keep getting adverts for like toupees and hair pieces though. I don't know why. I don't really want one. Blonde hair. What about pink hair? What I don't understand, you know those hair systems, which is just a rebranding of the word toupee. What I don't get is you have to glue them onto your head or sellotape them on or whatever. But then that seems like, because they're not porous, so you'd end up with like sweat and stuff. It doesn't seem very clean to me. I wouldn't want the. I'd like to wash my head. I don't like the idea of being underneath a tape or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, drying your head. When you're bald, drying your head is amazing. You just rub a towel on your head. It's glorious. Also, I really like how my head feels after I shave it. It's really nice. Nice and smooth. and then after a day it's like spiky Velcro, but I quite like that. Just feels fresh. People that don't shave their head don't understand this. It's good. Like, I think we should all just shave our head. It's cleaner. It's nice. We still use shampoo. This is a misconception. Bald people still use shampoo because you still have a scalp. Like you don't, and you still have hair follicles. So you still benefit from shampoo. Like a lot of shampoo isn't just for how it affects your hair. It's specifically the skin on top of your head. Yeah. But people, for some reason, the hairy are confused by this. I don't know why. It's the bold uprising. Also, hair is a good way of hiding ugliness, right? Like, if someone shaves the head, you can really see like the shape of the head, and you can really tell if they're like you can really tell if someone's good looking or not by if they shave the head. Like you look at women with shaved heads. Really attractive women look amazing with a shaved head because they can't. When you've got hair, you can really change the shape of your face and stuff. But if you're bald, I'm telling you, the woman, that woman from that Orbital song with the shaved head, perfect woman. What's the name? What's the song? Absolute dream. Yeah, she's amazing. 10 out of 10 woman that, and. Yeah, and she's British, which is really rare for a British woman to be that beautiful. and bold and beautiful. Unbelievable. Gail Porter looked pretty good looking with no hair as well. It's the ultimate test. On Game of Muscle Island, everyone has to shave their head. Look like a penal colony. Oh no, we're waiting. Lap 5's coming. Are you ready for the bland crash? Blandageddon. I'm going to get wrecked by this car behind me. He's very close. 1 minute 33. Oh, some salt.
You just got the white flag. That means one more lap to go. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 43.58.
Oh, here we go, guys. Here we go.
Clear.
Will he tickle my bottom?
Right side. Still there, hold your line. Keep to the left. Clear.
Go around the outside of that corner is not a good idea. Oh, it's a nice adventure, this.
Left side. Clear on the left. Left side. Clear.
He's run out of track.
Congrats on the podium, James.
Well, you clearly weren't racing properly, so the guy you were with didn't push you hard enough.
Good job. Very good
Rubbish. I mean, why didn't you crash?
Some would say I might have got better.
I think the other guy was just intimidated by the prospect of you killing him.
It's delivery, it does them things.
Ah, no, it's open setup, and you've got a setup for this. That's what it is. You thief. Absolute disgusting.
What, it's open setup? No, it's not.
It is. Yeah, it's open setup.
20 litres of fuel in this.
Yeah. Right. I seen another race where I expect you to crash. I'm going back to the glorious world of proper simulators with realistic tyre models.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get through the menus. Good luck.
Here we go. Let's see what's going on here with LMU. Back to the LMU. Nice battle. No battle. No battle. DD Girl should be bold. DD Girl's like Schrodinger's bold woman. Mabaton GG. She's both bold and not bold at the same time. Oh yeah, see Natalie Portman, but she has a bit of a square face. She has a weird face. She's got kind of a flat face as well. Like, a lot of people think she's really good looking, but I think she's not ugly, but she has quite a distinctive face, like a model face. I really don't want to do wet spa. Oh, this is at night. 32 minutes. What time does it start? The picture's night time, but it doesn't say. Where's the time? Where's the time for the race? Does it actually say? Or is it just the thumbnail? No, I know it starts in 32 minutes. I'm on about the weather and time of day in the race. Might do this with the LMP2. Depends how many people register. $30 people, okay, that'll be alright. Oh no, hang on, that's a different one. What's going on here? The GT3's at Portimao, which is alright. Alright, this is doing Portimao and Wet Spa. And then this is Imola and Road America. Sinead O'Connor, best looking bold woman. That's a YouTube video, top 10 bold women of all time. I think it should catch on. If more women shave their heads, it would be more normalised, and then people would just accept baldness as a normal hairstyle. I say we should all be bold. Bold it up. Jodie Foster would have made a cracking bold. We could use AI to boldify celebrities to discover the ultimate bold. Right, we'll register up to this. We'll do LMP2. Registrieren. Which is the best LMP2? They're all Orica, aren't they? Ooh. Maybe the green stripe looks a bit better. Imagine Lab. Oh, is the red faster? But what about the blue? Gold's the slowest because it's the heaviest. I think green. I think green is faster than red. Actually, to be honest, quite a few green cars. I mean, maybe not this one. I think this black and green looks faster. This car looks quite fast though. Yeah, I think this... I mean, this one looks nice. But I think... green and black, I think, is... No, why would green be slow? It doesn't make any sense. Quite like this blue. Well, I'm shattered. So tired. Need to eat something. The coffee. I'm going for green and black. I think it's quick. Any desk. Oh, they know how to have exciting sponsors. Isn't any desk like a remote? It's a remote desktop, like VPN. Naughty Dog's game Intergalactic's called Woke because of a bold woman as a main character. Now that stuff is all made up, right? There's like a tiny proportion of morons that complain about game characters being like not skinny women or gay or whatever, or having shaved heads. There's a tiny fraction of idiots that get upset by that, but then it becomes like it's something that people will argue about, right? So it then becomes like a thing when there is actually, it's not a thing either way. Like, no one actually cares. Like, if a video game is fun, that is what people really care about. So, oh, we got, how many cards we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people so far. Hang on, it only says there's only 7 people registered. 26 minutes though, so actually it should be alright. We need like 10 cars. They woke sim racing. Well, but I mean, how do you? Right, first of all, why would woke be bad? Like, I've not had anyone explain why woke is a negative thing. Like, being anti-woke. No, I know you're joking, but I'm just saying in general, as a general thing. It's really weird that someone would ever be anti-woke. Like, it's like saying, oh, anti-what? And it's like someone going, oh, you're... It's like being anti-environment protection or something. It's like, hang on. Or like, yeah, it's a weird, like, it's a weird one, isn't it? What are the actual negatives of woke? Like, if you define woke as being like accommodating to minorities in a given culture, how is that bad? Why would that be a bad thing? Being accommodating to like disabled people, or being aware that other people have different requirements and being nice to like accommodate. Like, okay, say there's some complete arse. Say there's a disabled person or a trans person or a homosexual or someone that's like different to the main group, and say like a small proportion of them are complete arses. It would still be worth being woke and accommodating to the vast majority of people that are not arses. And also, it'd be stupid to think that just because someone's trans, gay, a minority in a given culture, it would be stupid to assume that some of them aren't idiots. Like, there's idiots everywhere. There's, in every culture, in every group of people, there's idiots. So it's really bizarre for the anti-woke people to hyperfixate on the minority of trans people that are idiots, or the minority of homosexuals that are idiots, or the minority of whatever is the race that's separate to the race in the overall group that are idiots. It is really weird to hyperfixate on the idiots, which actually ironically undermines the anti-woke people's positions. You don't see them like magnifying the views of like the really nice person that happens to be trans, gay, or a minority group in that culture. They don't, for some reason, they ignore those people. Weird, strange that, isn't it? It's just strange. The really strange thing is to somehow frame it that woke is a bad thing universally, and to get away with that conversationally. It's to stop us from going Luigi mode. Yeah, but the word woke itself has been created. It's been rebranded and created as a term that's then used as a weaponized term for someone to. They've branded the word woke as meaning basically the most stupid, dyed hair, annoying person. And that's what a woke person is. It's like branding all vegans as people that spend all their time climbing trees and protesting, or branding all vegetarians as like people that are complete like crystal loving lunatics. It's just like, okay, but that you've created a scenario that just does. You've created a straw man of something that just doesn't exist. So you've already undermined any argument you would make. There's two sets. One don't like being told what to do, and the others don't like being called out on their prejudice. What do you mean? There's two types of what? What's strange I've noticed with the type of people that use woke as an insult, or when you see it being used by like right-wing media, those people often go on about our freedoms are being taken by the woke, or we're being censored by people that are woke, or and yet those people are often part of capitalist establishment that absolutely would censor people and absolutely require people to stay in poverty and absolutely are repressing people from basic freedoms. so it's like it's really Orwellian and Machiavellian how these people operate in terms of the just ignore stuff to make an argument that they then demonstrably aren't following themselves. Woke destroys culture? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. That sentence doesn't make any sense. Yeah, just having empathy for people that... Having empathy for people with different views, or like what actually matters isn't wokeness or whatever. All that matters would be, is someone doing something that's negatively affecting other people, and to what degree is it negatively affecting other people? So like this, that would be to have an actual conversation on something. You'd be like, it doesn't matter if they're left, right wing or whatever. Is what they want to do, how is what they want to do negatively affecting other people, and to what degree? And that's how you would then go, well, maybe they should or shouldn't do that. So like base jumpers, for example, base jumpers, it's quite reasonable to go, oh, everyone should have the freedom to do like skydiving and base jumping if they generally want to, it's their own risk. However, you then have to go, well, it's such a dangerous activity that base jumpers, there's a 1 in 50 chance that the parachute doesn't work and they die, and then unfortunately someone has to pick up their corpse, and that's quite traumatizing for people because it's not a pretty sight, right? So you then go, okay, well look, you can do skydiving, you can do all these other activities that are much less dangerous and basically achieve the same thing, so we're not really infringing on your rights to say that you can't base jump at this notoriously dangerous location. So, the reason you're doing that is because the base jumper is infringing on other people's rights by doing base jumping. But the point is, you would have a conversation over in what way are they infringing on people's rights, to what degrees, and how can they be best accommodated. Yeah, it's the obvious comparison though to the base jumping analogy is the one that everyone should go to. Is it not woke to simply call out someone for being an arse? Like people not accepting racism? Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Also, through time, stuff that wasn't woke at one period of time. If you have a group of people that are unaware that they are... Like, you would have a period in time where slavery was completely accepted. It was just normal, and people were born into that. They just, you know, it was culturally normal, so they didn't think it was a bad thing. But then, obviously, more and more people would think about it and go, oh, hang on a minute, I know we've got some slaves, I really like these people, and actually they're people, and this is obviously this is exploiting people that are the same as us. And then, you know, eventually people are like, oh yeah, this is probably not a good thing to be doing, given that they are people. And then over time, people then go, yeah, actually, slavery is really not a good idea because these are people and you're taking rights off people. And it's exploitative, and you wouldn't want to be exploited yourself. So you apply a bit of like empathy, because you'd be like, oh, maybe I'm not a slave, but I could see that I wouldn't want to be a slave, and they're a person just like me. So yeah, doesn't require much brain power. And then you'd be like, oh yeah, so slavery is not a good idea. But and now it's not woke now to say that slavery is bad, because the majority of people now culturally are born into an environment, well, at least in some countries, are born into an environment where slavery is like agreed upon as being not a good thing. So that's not woke anymore. But at one point in time, or at points in time in certain cultures, slavery would be being anti-slavery would be considered to be woke. So what part of base jumping has slavery cross over in the Venn diagram? I missed 5 seconds. Slavery was ended when all intentions were done, infrastructures were done by slaves. Well, no, there have been you have countries where they still have slavery, where they've got infrastructure, and you get a lot. There's still human trafficking, and there's also degrees of slavery. You still have like less authoritarian forms of slavery through economic systems. So what's happened is, rather than slavery being completely eliminated, it's been well, first of all, it's been exported to other countries to where you don't have to consider it. Also, in America, the slavery's kind of been transitioned over into the prison system. So it's kind of, you've gone, wow, you know, these people have committed a crime. A lot of them haven't actually committed a crime, or they've committed a crime that most people wouldn't actually end up in prison for. So there still is slavery, effectively, but it's less worse than it used to be, or, you know, it's changed. But things have got more moderated, and I think generally people do generally in the West, in the UK at least, and most of Europe, generally conceptually frown on slavery, even though it still goes on in many different ways. So there's different forms of slavery, but that's kind of beside the point to the point I was making. That's a whole... The degrees of slavery and what's better or worse, I guess you could have a whole debate about. There's one GTE registered to this. We're having an LMP2 race. No, we don't need GTE cars. They're boring. I wonder what happens when there's hardly any GTE cars. They just do one server with one GTE car. I'm gonna get a biscuit or something quickly, I think. I'm starving. I'm a slave to tea bags. Hang on. If we go back in time, Europeans would do the same. It ended. Everything was set. I don't know what you mean by everything was set. I think you're making a like a I don't know what you mean. You'd have to define what you mean by when things are set. So to try and agree with what you're saying, I would agree that I think when a society gets to a certain structural point of having basic infrastructure and basic wealth, then it's a lot easier to then move away from slavery, because basic needs are covered by the basic structures and systems in place. And so it's a lot easier for people to then be ethical. So the less resources, the more on the edge a society is, the more likely they are to engage in unethical behaviors. And the more resource rich, the more food availability, you know, like the easier life is, the easier it is for people to be ethical. So I think that's the argument you're trying to make, and I would generally agree with that. But that's not really, that's just an argument of saying that people move away from unethical behavior when they've got more abundance, which is, I don't disagree. So I think I've just summarised your argument, and I don't think I disagree with what you're saying. But I'm just getting a... Just getting a drink and a biscuit.